What is up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of the Wide Eye Sports Podcast. We got Spoon and Riley joining us today. Dalton is unable to make it. If you've ever watched the show before, there's usually four of us, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it in this week. That's all right, because this week we have three different player comparisons and a fun talking point to end the episode on. But how's y'all's week been? How's everybody's week been going?
Good,
Going
man.
good? Going good,
Yeah,
Riley?
Fine so far.
Played some
All right.
golf today, so
All right, well, let's roll the credits and get this underway. All right, like I said, we got three different player comparisons to start on this episode, so we're going to get right underway with things. I'm going to pull up the first one. The first one's pretty big. This is a big one.
it's a
You don't
lot.
usually- got a little driver notice. All right, so this is a lot. There's a lot to take in. So let's just take a second, okay? I'm going to explain the criteria for this first one. This first one is the best rushing seasons of all time. So the top 5 rushing seasons of all time. So some of these names may be easier to guess than others.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't so much about trying to guess the names as I just wanted to look at, kind of a fun, different way of looking at the best rushing seasons of all time. So, but we are going to try to guess. You guys are going to try to guess. Normally we have 4, so it'd be 3 guessers, but this week it's only 2. So I thought we'd do a fun little game. Okay. We're going to do a little game with this one. You each have 3 strikes. 3 strikes and you're out. So if you submit a name and it's wrong, that's 1 strike. And you get 3 of those. Okay. On the third one, you guess wrong a third time, the other person gets the win automatically. Okay.
Okay.
So just it kind of keeps it moving a little quicker. We get stuck on things. People just start throwing random names out there. You got to be a little more tactical, a little more precise this time. So I'll give you the first hint. All 5 of these guys rushed for 2,000 yards. Pretty good hint,
Yeah,
I feel like.
Pretty simple.
Pretty simple. And then, everything else is pretty much there for you guys. So obviously, player E, most rushing touchdowns. Player D had the highest yards per carry and total yards his season. Player E also led in total touchdowns. He only had rushing touchdowns, had no receiving touchdowns. And then total touches, rushing attempts, games. Those, I feel it's hard to say who wins those categories because you could make the argument that the guy who had 400 total touches carried the load more, so he's more impressive, or the guy who rushed for 2,053 yards on only 368 total touches, that's more impressive. So it's hard to tell. And then I put their ages in there just so you could see one of these guys did it at almost 30. Two of these dudes did it before they turned 25. It's little here and there. And then the All-Pro or Pro Bowl offensive line, that one I felt was important just to show the help they had on their offensive lines and what they were doing compared to what the offensive line was creating for them. And then only 2 of these guys won MVPs their season. And, the guy who has the most all time didn't even win an MVP that year. So you guys got any guesses? Any names to throw out?
I mean, I think I know 3 or 4 of them off the top of my head, but I was going to let Riley go first if you'd like.
Is E. LaDainian Tomlinson?
That is a strike for Riley.
Ooh.
See, that's the one I know, I think.
Yeah, you think you know. You think you know, but you only have 2 shots. Or you have 3 shots, but then Riley gets an auto win. Riley's down to 2 shots. You want to take a stab at E?
I think that's Derrick Henry.
Ding, ding, ding. It
Let's
is
Ooh.
Derrick
Let's go. Okay. So
Henry.
I got that one.
All right, so we got E was Derrick Henry.
So we have to
So-
guess which player is which too.
Yeah. You can't just say,
Jesus.
yeah.
'Cause
Oh,
I
yeah.
know. I think I know 4 of the 5 already.
I'll say
just
this.
don't know which is which.
I don't expect anybody to get C without looking it up. So if you don't look it up, I don't expect anybody to get C. B and D are givens. considering some things, and then A, if you know this list, you know who leads the all-time single season rushing record. So it's a little tougher.
What's messing with my head is that I'm going to go ahead and say the name, Riley, because we both are going to
hold on. If you say a name, you got to associate it with a player.
Okay, then see,
And
I'm not
that's
going to do
what
that.
I'm struggling with.
So 2 of these guys played college in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah. Well, I know
Was
one of them.
Was he one of the Oklahoma guys?
Was
Is that
C
a
one of the
question I
Oklahoma
can
guys?
ask?
Hold on,
Yes.
I gotta pull this off the screen for just a second because I have all their stats pulled up on my screen. But it was on that screen, so we don't want that. We don't want that. So let me finish messing around with this for just a second. All right, now that's set to go. Add to stage. All right, here we go. All right, so you said C, player C.
Did he go to Oklahoma?
He did not play college in the state of Oklahoma,
Okay.
Okay,
but
so
2 of these guys did.
I'm pretty positive I
two of-
know
These dudes did.
who holds the season the season, like the single season record for most rushing yards, and that's Eric Dickerson at A.
It is ED.
Okay,
ED.
I know that one. That one was a given
Okay.
for me from the start.
Yeah,
I-
that one, that one's a good one because it's, he's the leader, so that's a
Yeah,
good giveaway.
I always know
B,
that
C,
one.
and D. B, C, and D could be any order of guys.
I don't know. I know 2 of them. I don't know one of them, and I don't know which player it is.
Yeah.
Is
So-
Struggling me.
B Adrian Peterson?
That's what I was going to go with. That's what I was thinking.
He is AP.
Good shit. Let's go.
All right. So now
Hold
you
on.
got C and D.
So now I know who D is.
Who's
And
D?
I think I know who C is.
Well, D is Barry Sanders because he's the only other person.
All right.
to win,
All right. So we're
win an
rolling. We're
MVP.
rolling.
I know that one.
All right. We're rolling. Who's C? Who's
And I
C?
have I just think it's because he's the only name you wouldn't guess in this group. But is it Chris Johnson?
There you
That's
go.
a second strike for Riley.
Oh, I thought that's who it
That's
was.
a
Yeah,
second
no,
strike
that's-
for Riley. I will give you a
Cool.
hint. I'll give you a hint. He did play post 2000 in the NFL, and I believe. Let me pull up his page here. Give me 1 second. It's loading. I have like 40 tabs open for Sports Reference right now, football reference website, and it is taking some time to load over here because of that. So yeah, he only played 2000 and beyond. So he never played in the 90s. He played at the same time as Chris Johnson, was a 1,000-yard rusher the same time as Chris Johnson was in the NFL, but his 2,000-yard season came before that. And Riley, you're down to 1. If you guess again, Spoon auto wins. So, I mean, take that into account, Spoon. You don't have any guesses up that are wrong. You don't have any strikes against you. I'll tell you this. If I was in your position, I wouldn't have got this. This was tough. This was tough.
So just to give everybody at home like a rundown of what I'm going from, I knew that player B and player D had to have been Adrian Peterson and Barry Sanders. I just didn't know. I forgot which one to go with. So Riley, thank you for picking Adrian Peterson because then I immediately knew, okay, the other one's Barry Sanders. That was easy.
Yeah,
This
Adrian Peterson should hold this record, but Leslie Frazier decided, you know what? We'll just kick a field goal and go to the playoffs with Tavares Jackson as our quarterback. Like, anyway,
This one is so tough because
You
I
want
knew-
you want the conference this guy played for? Or played for?
if you can give me NFC or AFC, I will make a guess real quick. And
AFC.
Fuck it. Okay, AFC.
AFC early 2000s.
Man, I don't.
He only
Reese
played.
Holmes?
Nope.
Man,
That's a mark against Spoon. So he only played in one division. The AFC North was the only division he played in. He had multiple 1,000-yard seasons for multiple AFC North teams.
Man.
Riley, this is like he was doing this around the time you were being born, so
Yeah.
I'll give you a little leeway there. Spoon, we were young, we were 6, 7, 8, 9 ish, so it wasn't like we would be all
'Cause
about it
I'm-
back then.
Man, I can't think of any running. There's only one. I mean, it's Riley's guess. I want him to lose real quick.
I mean, let's. I'll say this. He played on one of the most legendary teams of all time. You guys got any thoughts about what team that might be?
I have the 2000 Ravens. Was it that running back on that? Because I
don't know who that running back was.
He was on that team.
Shit. Well, there goes my guess. Because I was going to go towards the Steelers. For the
Would you
early
like
2000s.
his stat line for that season, the 2000 season with the Ravens?
Sure.
Well, we see the stat line.
No, for his
This
2000.
was-
That's his 2000-yard season. When the
Oh.
Ravens won the Super Bowl in 2000, he had 309 attempts for 1,364 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Man.
He played 5 total seasons for Baltimore, was injured for 1 full season, knee injury. And then from there, he went to Cleveland and proceeded to have back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, 1,304 and then 1,002, before playing only 9 games in 2009 and having 500 yards and never playing again.
Was he on the Madden cover?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Don't think he was ever on a Madden cover. Yeah, I mean, you guys can give up too. The give up options on the
This
table. You can
is-
tap. You can tap at any time. If it's too hard for you, I get it.
What
I mean-
team do you have the
The Ravens.
2000? You had it
Ravens.
on the Ravens?
Yep, had it on the Ravens. His 3rd full season in the NFL was a 2,066-yard season.
I don't have this one.
Throw out some names.
The only one
Me-
that came to mind was Jerome Bettis when you said
When
you said
Eh,
when you said NFC North, that was like, oh yeah, Jerome Bettis,
Eh.
right? The bus? No.
Nope, was not Jerome. You both. I mean, you both are on 2 strikes. If you both agree to tap, I'll tell you, and nobody gets the win, or one of you can guess and give the other the win.
Well, shit, I guess
potentially
3. I
win.
want the win.
I mean, you're both sitting at 2 strikes. You gotta go. I mean, if you're sitting at home, and put it down in the comments right now. Put exactly who player C is down in the comments and make these two look like buffoons. Unless you looked it up, in which case you're a cheater. Go die in a hole.
Riley, do you
Won't
even have a
actually die
guess?
in a hole though. We need you to watch.
I only have one guess, and it's because he was on the Madden cover. Like,
Hold on. Was
I-
he?
I-
Hold on. Let me look it up.
But I don't want to say his name if it's going to be held against me. I don't remember what Madden cover it was, but there was a Browns running back who had.
It is.
the
It is. He
Madden
did not.
version.
Hold on. I'm looking it up right now. He was never on a Madden cover. He was not on the Madden cover. And you're thinking
No,
you're thinking of Peyton Hillis.
yes.
Yeah, and it's not him.
Mhm.
He played. That was like Madden 11. That was after him.
I mean, I'll throw another name out there. I don't think it's right.
I mean, it's your guess to lose. You guys are both. So you don't want to
It's
lose.
Riley. It's Riley's turn.
I'm fine. With
There's
the
no
draw.
turns. There's no turns. You can go in any order you want. And if you would both like to mutually agree to tap, I'll tell you who it was.
Tell me who it is.
Riley, you agreeing to tap?
No, you said he only ever played for the AFC North.
Yep.
Only ever played for the AFC North, Baltimore and Cleveland. Only 2 teams.
I'll give up.
All
I'll
right,
throw
so they
in the
both
towel.
give up. They both throw in the towel. They're both quitters. It is Jamal Lewis. Jamal Lewis
Damn.
is the man. He had
I forgot all about him.
four straight 1,000-yard seasons to start his career, including 2004, where he only played 12 games, still had 1,000 yards. In 2005, he got hurt in 2 games, only had 906 yards. And then 2006 had 1,132. 07, 08, we already named those stats earlier. And then 2009, he started in 8 games, had 500 yards, and then never touched the football field ever again. So that is it. Yeah, Eric Dickerson, Adrian Peterson, Jamal Lewis, Barry Sanders, Derrick Henry. Who do you guys think is the most impressive on this list?
Barry Sanders.
You giving it to Barry?
Yeah, I'm giving it to Barry.
Riley?
Man, just based off numbers, I'd probably take Derrick Henry's.
Yeah, I'm saying Derrick Henry. Like, AP is on this list for me, and 17 touchdowns, a couple hundred less yards. I mean,
touchdowns is what the separator is for
and
me.
The other separator for me is right here.
Yeah,
0 Pro Bowler, All-Pro offensive lineman on this team, and dude had 2,027 yards. So, all right, that's the first comparison. We're gonna move on. We have the second comparison right here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit for y'all, so y'all can see this. Okay, there we go. All right, comparison dos. Okay, so these are MVP seasons by quarterbacks. Quarterbacks. Okay. So, do we have? Let me go through here and exit out of all my running back tabs because there's 40 of them up here. All right, so I have the MVP seasons pulled up for each guy. Any questions, comments, concerns, fire away. I will give you the hint. None of these men are active NFL players. They are all 3 different eras, though. They are different eras starting in the 80s. The first one of... I'll give you this. A, B, and C, they're in order of timeline, right? So A was drafted in the 80s, played his career. B was drafted, I think, in the... Let me... Oop. There we go. B was drafted in... I have to go to his actual page for that. Oops. Oh, no, here we go. B was drafted also in the 80s, but his MVP came way later on down the road. His prime came later in his career, so he was like late 90s, early 2000s. And then player C is the, 2000s, 2010s guy. We'll run it with that. So obviously, I would say 2 of these dudes are more dual threat than they are pocket passers. One of these dudes played on loaded teams. The other 2 were kind of more flash in the pan-esque. Player A and player C were known for being a part of NFC teams, whereas B was the AFC. Any guesses here? Same rules as before. 3 strikes and you're out.
Is A Joe Montana?
That's a strike for Riley. You're in the right neighborhood, though. In the right neighborhood.
Is player A John Elway?
That's a strike for Lane.
Ooh.
No, you
guys-
said NFC. Ooh.
Yeah.
I said A and C
You
or
are-
NFC. That's not even my first pick either.
You guys. I'll give you that. Both of those dudes, right neighborhood. You're in the right time period right there. He is just as big a name as either of those 2 dudes.
I'm gonna go with my gut that I should have went with my first pick.
What is it?
Brett Favre's on this list.
He is not on this list.
Bruh.
It's 2 strikes for
Oh.
Lane.
I thought
That's
A was
two
Brett,
strikes.
man.
Oh, that's 2 strikes. No, bro, he's only got 7 interceptions. Brett Favre would have thrown like 30 interceptions back then.
I don't
was
know. I
actually-
wasn't born, man.
Brett Favre has like 338 career interceptions. It's crazy. Dude was out there throwing like 20 picks a season. But all right. Do you need a big hint for one player? A big hint for one player. Player A played in the NFC West and had his prime in the early 90s. The modern day NFC West. The team resides in the modern day NFC West. I don't know if they were still what the divisions were back then exactly, but the modern day NFC West.
Did he play for Arizona?
He did not play for Arizona. So that boils it down to 3 teams.
Did he play for the Rams?
He did not play for the Rams. Almost.
Well, that was my other team.
So there's 2 teams left who have, I mean, there's...
Young?
Yeah. Steve Young?
Steve Young?
For which player?
It'd be A.
Yeah.
A is Steve Young.
Okay.
Damn.
A is
I don't know
Steve
why
Young.
I couldn't think of his name, man.
So player B, I threw tough ones in the middle here. So with the first one, it was player C. This one is player B. So both the middles of these first 2 comparisons are tough ones. They're not easy. They are not easy to get. Player C is a huge player in our lifetime. Very, very, what's the right word? Controversial player in our lifetime. A lot of media attention, a lot of buzz, always in the news.
Man, that sounds
whether
like Aaron.
good or bad.
No. McNabb?
Nope. That's a strike for Riley. So you each are on your final. We have 2 players left, and you each are on your final guesses. Let's go. All right. So we got. So player B played about the same time as Jamal Lewis. Had his prime in the later. I'll give you this. Okay. So player B. Let me see here. Just going to go back to his full stats here. I was on his MVP season stats. I'll go back to his full stats for us real quick. Just give me a couple seconds here. Player B definitely had his prime. Actually, I'll just give you this. Player B was drafted by the Minnesota Vikings. But he did not win an MVP with the Minnesota Vikings and was off the team before 1993. So there's... So he won his MVP post 2000.
Did he play for Tennessee? May have been the Oilers at the time.
Nope, never played for Tennessee. You
That
want
was
the
a name that was coming up too.
I almost put that guy on the list. Do you want the full breakdown of every team he played for? He played for 4 teams. I will tell you them, not in order, other than Minnesota's first. I will tell you in the order in which years he played for them. So most to least. You ready?
Go ahead.
6 years in Minnesota, 6 years in Oakland, 4 years in Kansas City, and 1 year in Washington. He did not start he never started a full season for Kansas City. Did not start a full season for Washington. Started 4 full seasons for Oakland and 3 full seasons for Minnesota.
Dude, this one's tough.
It is.
Yeah.
It's tough. This one's hard.
tough.
This one's one of those like you forget he was an MVP tough type situation. Like this is gonna be like Matt Ryan in like 25 years. Like people be, oh my god, he was an MVP. Like that's where this one lies. It's in that. Oh, he won an MVP. Yeah, you're right. And if you know it, put it down in the comments. Throw it down. Make these dudes look like fools. If you know B and C, put them down there. Okay, so B is an AFC.
You said none of these guys are in the league anymore, though, right?
Nope. None of them are in the league. I'll give you a hint.
Oh, I know who C is. That's
who's
easy.
C?
Cam Newton.
C is Cam Newton.
There we go.
Oh.
I should have known. 15-1. I knew that.
15
I knew
and
that.
1, 35 tuds.
Ah, I'm such a freaking idiot. I'm sorry, guys, if y'all are watching from home. That was
right.
an easy one that I should have guessed.
So we got B here, all right? B won an MVP with an AFC team. Okay. Modern day AFC West. Modern day AFC West. He went from playing for the rival Chiefs to playing for this team. Which would be the, if you could guess, teams won't cost you anything if you want to throw out a team name.
We also said he won it in Oakland.
Yes, he did win it when he was in Oakland. What Oakland Raiders quarterback has an MVP to his name? Can you tell me?
Honestly, man, I can't tell you. I'm gonna throw in the towel. I have no guesses. No clue.
Riley?
Did he?
I'll give you a hint. He was 37 when he won his first MVP with the Raiders. 37 years old, journeyman quarterback, wins an MVP. Only 4,000 yard season he ever had. Only 4,500 yard season he ever had was this season. Riley, you giving in?
Man.
You want to throw a name out there? You want to throw a name out there, or you want to give in?
And he was 37?
He was 37 years old when he won the MVP. I'll give you both a hint. Okay? Don't think Johnny Manziel when I do this, but this is a reference to his name. Okay, I know that's J Money, right? Johnny Manziel, but that can be used to signify something similar. That would be a reference, like if we were playing,
Britter, or Riley, if you don't know it, probably not going to guess it.
We throwing in the towel?
Yeah.
Rich Gannon, ladies and gentlemen. It is Rich Gannon.
Who?
Exactly. Who?
Gannon.
I would have never guessed that.
Rich Gannon, boys. Rich Gannon. Drafted in the 4th round of the 1987 draft by the Patriots, actually. Traded to Minnesota.
That didn't come until past 2000, right?
Yeah.
Whenever he was on, because he played Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl, right?
Traded to Minnesota.
Yep.
Was there for 6 years. Then left for Washington. Was hurt in 94. Went from there to Kansas City until 1999, and then started for the Raiders, and then proceeded to have 2 first-team All-Pro seasons and an MVP with 3 Pro Bowls in 3 years from 2000 to 2002. And then by 2003, he only started 7 games. 2004, he started 3, and he was out of the league. So it was very flash in the pan. I told you it's going to be one of those, like, oh my God, he did. That guy won. That's right. Like, it's very, flash in the pan. Very flash in the pan for Rich Gannon. All right, we got Steve Young, Rich Gannon, Cam Newton, and we will move on here to the final comparison of the evening. So these are careers. So both A and B are wide receivers. Wide receivers. Okay. Now, one guy has markedly better stats than the other guy, in my opinion. I gave him the win on games. You could gray that out if you really wanted to. That's neither here nor there type situation. Each of them, these are years in which their quarterback made the Pro Bowl, not total years played with that quarterback. These are years in which their quarterback made the Pro Bowl. So 2 years from each guy's career. You have more touchdowns for A. You have more 100-catch seasons, not 1,000 yards, 100 catches in a season for B. Yards per game, B gets the advantage. Less games, similar yards, going to get the advantage there. Player A won a Super Bowl. Player A also has a better catch percentage, which is receptions divided by your targets. So better catch percentage there. And then 10 touchdown seasons. player A has one more than player B, but has, a season and a half's more games played. So it's pretty similar, really. So all in all, very similar stats with a slight edge going to player A. Both of these guys are known. So I should say it this way. Both of these guys only ever played with one team. Both guys played with one team for their entire professional careers. Both of these dudes will be Hall of Famers one day. They are not currently. One of them is active. One of them is not. Both played on NFC teams. Both are similar style of receiver. They both win in similar ways. Any guesses?
Is B the active player?
No. No, B has been inactive for a few years now.
Okay.
For a few years or for like
Almost a decade-ish.
yeah,
Maybe a little over, maybe a little less.
Riley, can I go for the sweep here? I
Go
guess
for
both.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Player A is Julio Jones. Player B is Calvin Johnson.
50% right.
So player
You
B
got-
is Calvin Johnson.
You got player B.
Damn it. I was so confident
I was
with
gonna.
Julio.
He said player A has been on the same team.
Oh,
Yeah,
did he
they-
really? Oh,
yeah,
I
both-
didn't. I just
both
heard
players.
both. I heard both have played in the NFC for their whole career. Well, I guess
100
Julio hasn't.
150 games. That's a little over 9 seasons he's been in the league.
Who knows? Maybe he's been hurt.
That's what I was trying to figure out. And he's only ever been on one team.
He's only played for one team. He's definitely a vet. Like, guys consider him a vet. I could give you a big hint that would help you get it right away. I'm going to give it to
He's
you.
currently in the league.
Yep. I'll give you a big hint right now. Probably the most underrated receiver in the NFL for what he has accomplished career-wise.
Over the last.
He's won a Super Bowl. I'll give you a hint. He was drafted post 2010. He was drafted after 2010. Has never been. Let me double check this real quick. I don't think he's ever led the league in receiving.
Oh, I know
yards.
who it is.
Is
I got
it-
it. I got it.
Oh,
I got it. I know who it is. You want to take a guess, Riley, before I tell him who it is?
is it Larry Fitzgerald?
No.
Nope, he's active. He's active.
It's
so
Mike
Ah.
Evans.
It is Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Spoon gets the sweep.
Oh, I don't know why I said Larry. Damn.
Evans. All right. That is it. That is the 3 player comparisons we have for everybody. What do you guys think? Were they too hard, too easy? First two too hard, last one too easy?
I don't think they were super hard. I just think that the first two had one player that is like, God dang it, dude. Like we're never gonna guess who this is.
Yeah,
Never-
that
I
was
don't
the
think
point.
I had ever heard the name Rich Gannon. before.
I've heard that
Rich
name before, but I have not
Gannon.
heard that name in years.
So Tuck Rule
it's
game
been
against
so
Brady. He
long.
was the Raiders quarterback for the Tuck Rule game against Brady.
Well, I knew he played in the Super Bowl
Oh.
against Tampa Bay,
I had
right?
no
Yeah,
clue.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he went to the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay.
Like,
So it
wasn't
was
the
like
quarterback
those-
for Tampa Bay Brad Johnson or something?
Brad Johnson also
I can guess
another-
that. I can guess that quarterback, but I can't guess this game. Like, come on, dude.
Brad Johnson also played for the Vikings. Bunch of Vikings quarterbacks getting places in life without us. Shocker. But all right,
man.
that is it for this episode. If you stuck around, thank you very much. We'll be out with more episodes this week. Thank you all very much. Stick around. Make sure to check out the channel, like, subscribe, comment. We got schedule prediction week 10 and 11 coming later this week. And we have another 3rd episode coming towards the beginning of next week that we'll have out for y'all. So make sure to stick around, subscribe, turn on the noti bell so you get all the notifications from us, and we will see y'all next time.
So Mike Evans is better than Calvin Johnson.